before we get started, look at how depressing this is. I bought Gollum on day release for the video, which you may have enjoyed. I bought it for £60, and then it went down to 50 a day later, and now it's gone down to £19. You last purchased this 26th of May. No. £60 spent for a 400 viewed video. Hell yeah, money well spent. It's the worst experience of my life. Yeah, let's get rid of that Gollum tab. No one wants to look at that. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I was meant to have the Final Fantasy video up by now, but that game is way longer than I thought it was going to be, and I've been enjoying other games clearly based on PSN profiles here. I've been on Rainbow Six Siege, Trine 2, Street Fighter 6 I am doing a video on as well, so we've got 2 videos on the horizons, we'll say. Thought we'd do this kind of like little small tiny video, just talking about 10 platinum videos that I'm personally pretty proud of. I had to whittle down the list because, as you can see here, we have 236 platinums in total, so picking 10 was a bit of a challenge. And I think going through them, there are only around 5 platinums out of my entire list that I'm a bit like not proud of, like Road Bustle, for example. Like, I don't know what I was thinking when I bought that and platinumed that, but I think 5 out of 236 or whatever is not too bad. So yeah, starting with number 10, I went for Chivalry 2, which I only platinumed 19th of October last year, but it did take me around a year to do it, because you can see my first trophy here was 12th of January 2022, so took me just under a year to get the entire platinum for this game. And this is one of the most fun experiences I've had on an online game ever. I really enjoyed Chivalry 2. I did the entire platinum with my dad, and we had a great time platinuming it. Is that a word? I guess that would be a word. For those who don't know, it's just kind of like an online game with large scale maps, and it's like 50v50, I think. I'm not sure how many enemies, or like 100v100. And as for the trophies, they're all pretty entertaining ones. Like, it's kill 10, kill 50, all the way up to kill 2,000 enemies, which takes, as you can see from the timestamps here, quite a while. And then there's win on each map 5 times, 10 times, 25 times, so nothing super extravagant with those trophies there. And there's plenty of others, like getting 100 kills with each class as well. And the reason I'm proud of it is because halfway through getting this platinum, the game glitched where the counters for the 2,000 enemies killed in particular just completely stopped working. Like, the developers didn't care, like no one was doing anything about it, which really frustrated. That was so annoying. I contacted them like 4 times, so we had to reset from 0 kills and get 2,000 kills again, hoping that it wouldn't glitch, and it didn't, luckily, and we managed to get the platinum. Very proud of this platinum, and a really enjoyable one as well. Now, I've typed in Assassin's Creed here, and you can see, I mean, apart from Creed Rise to Glory, which I have platinumed, I haven't platinumed every Assassin's Creed. I've done Assassin's Creed 2 in 2010, Revelations, Valhalla, Assassin's Creed 2 again on PS4, and then Origins. I want to go back and get all the Assassin's Creed, but the one I'd say I'm most proud of, even though it isn't my favourite, it's actually probably out of the ones I've platinumed my least favourite that I've done. But I'm going Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because if you look at the guide here, it says the total time to platinum Assassin's Creed Valhalla is 100 hours. As a long time. I think I checked and it took me 91, so I did manage to do it in under what it kind of said it was going to. But popped the first trophy on 23rd of November 2020 and got the platinum on the 16th of December. And Assassin's Creed Valhalla definitely has its problems.
Take notice. You
I enjoyed it. I think there was, like, getting every collectible in the game was a bit of a stretch. Like, that was just going on and on. There's like, you're collecting things that don't mean anything, like pick up this dung beetle. It's like, so there's a lot of that going on in the game. I think the game went on for far too long in its main story. I was invested, and then it just went on and on and on and on and on. Like, I started to skip cutscenes and lines of dialogue because I was just like, get me through this game. It was getting so tedious. I have great memories of playing the game, like staying up till 4 in the morning, I think, in particular with my dad, just kind of playing through the game. Which I've been playing Assassin's Creed since the first one came out in, what was it, like 2007 or something. So I would consider myself not a huge Assassin's Creed fan, but I've played pretty much all of them in the main lines, and I thought this game was fine. But yeah, I'm proud of it because I managed to get every single one of those collectibles, and there was a few scares in that run as well where I thought the game had glitched. There was so many glitches in this game. It was actually starting to put me off the franchise a little bit, but I managed to just push through. At number 8, I have Hades, and this isn't a super rare platinum. It's like 34% on PSN profiles, so it's not that difficult. But for me, I don't really play these kind of games, and I had so much fun with it. I thought it was a bit overwhelming at the start. I was like, there's no chance I'm ever going to be able to platinum this, but I'll just play it anyway because everyone was raving about it. But it didn't take me that long. Like 17th of August, I got the first trophy, and then the 1st of September the same year, I managed to get the platinum. So just under like 2-ish, 3-ish weeks or something. So, and I loved this game. I thought it was challenging, but like fair as well at the same time. I thought all the kind of bosses and the world, underworld worlds that you're kind of going through were great fun. And like I said, I don't typically play these kind of games. I feel like the platinum's great, but what makes it like, oh, I'm proud of this platinum is when you beat the game for the first time. Like, that's such a great feeling with games like Hades in particular, where you kind of do finally beat the game. Same with like Returnal, for example, which Returnal I was considering putting on here, but I thought Returnal and Hades kind of similar in there. I mean, they're not similar at all, but just the premise of the game is probably a better word, I'd say, for how they're kind of similar. And with both those games, it's just that moment you kind of beat it for the first time. You're like, okay, you know what? I can get this platinum. I'm going to go for it. And that's what I did with Hades. And I'll be there for Hades too, you best believe. 30% bonus damage with the pierced butterfly. I feel like all the trophies were really fun and were like a nice little challenge in and of their own, and gave you enough kind of experience with all the weapons. Like, you had to try everything out, do all these different things. Like, it wasn't just, oh, you could do it with this one weapon and go through. No, you had to branch out and try different things as well. So I thought that was quite good with the platinum. Right, I've typed in Batman here, and I've platinumed all these Batman games apart from Origins on PS3. That was the last PS3 game I ever played, I think. And then Batman Arkham Knight, which I did play earlier this year, but then Dead Space came out. So Batman Arkham Knight got pushed to the side. We've got Lego Batman 3, Batman the two Telltale games, and then we've got Arkham Asylum in 2011 and Arkham City. I'm going with Arkham City as my most proud one out of all those Batman games. No, I guess it's kind of a rare one, actually. Yeah, 0.6 overall and then a 4.33 on PSN profiles. This isn't tough. It's not a difficult platinum, apart from the 50... I think like every Batman game has it where you have to pull off 15 different moves in one combo sequence. That was hard. But yeah, these were the two hard ones. It was getting all 108 medals in the Arkham City, and then complete every challenge in Arkham City. Main story, all side missions, get all upgrades, get all collectibles, complete New Game Plus, and Riddler's Revenge, which was getting all the Riddler trophies, I believe. That was what the whole platinum was kind of leading to. I actually remember going around doing that. Arkham Asylum was a lot more limited in the kind of environment, so going around getting the trophies on that game was a lot more doable, where City obviously just expanded it by like ×5 or something. And then Arkham Knight is even bigger, which I want to get as well, just to kind of have the full trilogy. Origins will be cool to go back to as well, but Arkham City, very, very proud of that platinum. And at number 6, we have a platinum that's even rarer than Arkham City, which is The Evil Within, which I platinumed last year, 21st of January of last year. And this was a challenge. Most of it's great. It's like, do all these bits through the story, complete the game on casual, survival, nightmare, get every collectible, which you just need a video for, of course, fully upgrade all the weapons, and then I think there's go through the game without upgrading a single weapon, so that one was a bit of a challenge. The trophy that gives you challenge is this one. You asked for it, finish the game on a Kumu. That was hard. That was pretty difficult. Evil Within 2 is a bit different. I've not platinumed Evil Within 2. I did attempt it, but got pretty frustrated with it and gave up. In Evil Within 2, you have 3 to 5 saves or something like that. But once you die, you kind of have to go back to the save. So you kind of have to go for like 2 hours without dying. But on that game, you can get hit a couple of times and you're fine. Akumi mode, you get hit once, you're dead. The lucky thing with Akumi mode is you just go back to your last checkpoint. It's not like you have to restart the game or anything. That would be impossible. But some of the checkpoints are like 15-20 minutes. Like, it can be quite a hefty chunk of time that you kind of miss out on if you do die. But with enough perseverance and kind of watching certain videos and studying certain videos, you're able to get through it. But for that single trophy, I would say is one of my proudest platinums with 3.98%. That's pretty rare. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. And I even got all the DLC as well, which was fun. I enjoyed the DLC. So at number 5, we have another horror game, Alien Isolation, with 6.11% on PSN profiles. This took me a few years because I popped some trophies back in 2014. I got up to the 4th mission apparently, and then didn't play it up until September of 2021. Got the platinum on 18th of November 2021, so it didn't take too long. Kind of the same as Evil Within, where you get a trophy for every single chapter, get all the collectibles, use the shotgun, use the revolver, kill 10 enemies, just the basic stuff you'd expect. You kind of get most of this just going through the game. Yeah, ordering it by rarity, the rarest trophy was of course completing the entire game without dying. For those who haven't played Alien Isolation, the alien pops out. I mean, there are certain segments where he pops out in like, you know, a certain area, but it's so random when he'll just like come out and grab you at random moments in the game, so that you're never safe in this game. Even if you're like creeping around being all stealthy, he'll just randomly be like, oh no, I can smell you, you're behind there. An alien just killed him. That's fucking legging it. Oh, fucking.
Yo. Drag me out of the fucking van. Ah.
And there are some other fun challenges in this platinum as well, but yeah, that's definitely one I'm very proud of. Now I'm going to type in here Call of Duty, and so many games are going to pop up. Boom, boom, boom. Jesus. I think that's every Call of Duty game. I've at least played every single one, and I've platinumed quite a few. We've got Modern Warfare 2 back in 2010, World at War, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3. I don't know what Child of Light's doing there. I mean, I guess it can be there if it wants. Game of Thrones is there apparently as well, but then also Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, Modern Warfare Remastered, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and then Call of Duty Vanguard. Cold War I got very close on. Black Ops 4, I mean, that's just an abysmal 9 of 103. And yeah, around here is where I stopped kind of going for platinums. But I want to go back and get some of these Call of Duty games. But the one I'm most proud of, it was a toss-up between Call of Duty Black Ops and World at War. Based on my memory, I mean, it's not as rare. Black Ops has a 3.76 here. I went for World at War based on my memory with 6.09 because of beating it on veteran. I remember the trauma that I got from trying to beat Call of Duty World at War on veteran. If anyone has played, you get a trophy for beating each chapter on veteran as well, which is kind of nice, so it keeps you kind of motivated going through to the end. So if anyone has attempted World at War on veteran, you know the difficulty of like them just spamming you with grenades. Like I don't remember this about Black Ops, but with World at War it's like I don't know what they call it, it's like closeted enemies or something, I don't know, where they just keep coming. Like there's no, oh, I'll kill 20 and they stop coming. World at War was just, they keep coming no matter what, you've just got to work your way up. And there was so many times where they would just like throw 50 grenades at you. Boom, dead, got to go back 10 minutes. It was just a nightmare. So I loved the game. World at War is one of, I'd say it's in the top 3 Call of Duty games I've ever played. I loved the online. The multiplayer to this game was incredible. So many great memories on this one, and the story was one of the best stories I've played in a Call of Duty game as well, so that's great. But the veteran mode just felt unfair at times. Like honestly, it felt really unfair from, again, based on my memories. This is back in 2009 and 2010 when I went through this game and got the platinum, so quite a while ago, which is depressing that it's been that long. What a challenge. Great fun though. Now this one you might be a bit surprised by, but I've played all 4 of the EA Sports UFC games. Back in 2015 played the first, got the second in 2017, then I platinumed UFC 3 and UFC 4, but my rarest platinum of all time is UFC 3, and that's why it's going in at the number 3 spot. I really enjoy these games. I got actually ridiculously good at them for a while, more so with UFC 3. UFC 4 was a breeze to go through for that platinum. That was not a challenge at all. But the challenging part about UFC 3 was that you had to get a certain belt, yeah, level 150, which doesn't seem that bad. It's like, I'll just get to level 150. Guys, the amount of hours, 100 hours to get to that level was insane. But yeah, it says here, a win gives you 20 XP and a loss gives you 10 XP, which means you'll need around 900 to 1,800 fights to get to level 150. However, like I say, I got so good at this game, so I started to win most of these the more I got into it. I mean, playing that many games, you kind of at some point have to get good at it, surely. I had so much fun with this game, and I think it was rumoured that UFC 5 might be just around the corner, so when it comes to EA Sports games, this is the one I actually enjoyed the most. I know most people are going to say FIFA or something, but UFC, that's my game. And that's at number 3 because it is my rarest platinum. If you go back here, it says 0.66, 0.1 overall. I'm proud of that one. Very proud of that one at number 3. At number 2, we have one that I did a video on recently, but Bloodborne. I know this is not a rare platinum at 21.63, but I was very happy when I got this. I'm so bad at these games, or I feel like I say I am. I feel like everyone kind of has to say they're bad at the Soulsborne games, but I mean, I can't be that bad. I did platinum Bloodborne. Granted, it's not that hard compared to some of the others. I think most people say, like, is it Dark Souls 2 is the most difficult or something like that? I don't know. But I've done this and Elden Ring, and based on experience, I think Bloodborne was more difficult than Elden Ring. Yeah, I went with Bloodborne over Elden Ring. What an incredible game. I can see completely why this is considered one of the greatest PlayStation games of all time. Like I say, I only did it recently, March of this year. I think it's my most viewed video on the channel with like 8,000 views, so appreciate that one. Yeah, I love the game. I love the environments. I played it pretty safe with just kind of sticking with the same weapon throughout, but I know you can kind of go back and try out different weapons and different tactics as well. So, you know, I get that. And I did have to like call in some backup from time to time. Like I wasn't that good at the game. I remember like kind of building up to the hardest part of this game, which was the dungeons. Going through those was a pain, and that's what kind of gave it the edge of the difficulty over Elden Ring for me, was just those dungeons took so long. I think it took me about, this is like playing every day for multiple hours, but just over a week just to get through those dungeons. And then I got to the final boss, which was is it Yarnum? I think it's this character here. I don't know. The Thumerian Queen. She was easy. By the time I'd got to her, like, again, you can watch the video, but I killed her on the first attempt. Leading up to her was the difficult part, but she was actually fine. And then everything else is just kind of what you'd expect from Soulsborne games. Go and get this item, kill this beast, all that stuff. Incredible game. I can see why it was so loved. So yeah, that's at number 2. And before we jump into number 1, this is more of an honourable mention, I guess, but I'm just proud that I've managed to platinum this many Resident Evil games. We've got Resident Evil 5, which, controversial opinion, my favourite Resident Evil game. Oh my god, I know. Guys, so many memories go into Resident Evil 5. Like the co-op more so. Playing it by myself is whatever. I think if you go and buy a solo experience, then yes, there are far better Resident Evil games. But co-op, some of the best memories I've ever had in just gaming ever go to kind of Resident Evil 5. So maybe it's more so the memories I have with Resident Evil 5, more so than I think it's the best Resident Evil game. But yeah, Resident Evil 5, brilliant. Resident Evil 3 remake, 2 remake, 5 again, 6... 7, 8, Revelations 2, and then the Resident Evil 4 remake, which just came out. I did try the original Resident Evil, but I need to go back to it. It was very hard. A brilliant game. I didn't stop because it was bad or anything. I did complete it. I think that's just a trophy to do it on like the hardest mode, and it was definitely difficult. Operation Raccoon City was trash and Resistance was trash, but I do want to get those two as well. But yeah, this is more of an honourable mention with just basically all the mainline Resident Evil games apart from Resident Evil 1. That's pretty cool. I'm proud of that. And then at number 1, you probably saw it on the right, but we have Red Dead Redemption 2. I think most people, if they have this platinum, this is going to be in their top 10 proudest platinums. The amount of hours and time and dedication you have to put into this game to platinum it is, well, it's a lot. It's a lot. Let's have a look on the guide how much it says recommended. 200 hours. That is so much. This is kind of split into 2 things where you have the main story, and Red Dead Redemption 2, for those who don't know, is in my top 3 games of all time. It's Last of Us at 1, Bioshock at 2, Red Dead 2 at number 3. I think the game is an absolute masterpiece. I adore it. I had so much fun with it. I don't think I was bored at any moment. Like I know, like say, splitting it into 2 parts, you have the story and the kind of single player stuff, which the tedious parts come from hunting and skinning every single type of animal, but you have to have certain arrows that don't ruin the pelts and all that stuff, and the animals might not show up at certain times. Like there were so many animals that I had to hunt through that just would not show up, and I'd have to go back to camp and then come back and hope they'd appear. Oh no, they're not there. Okay, I'll go back. And that did get tedious, don't get me wrong, but I had fun with it. I enjoyed skinning all the animals and hunting them down, and then playing through the main story, of course. And there's a load of other random stuff in the story, like donate $250 to the gang, deliver 5 camp companion item requests. Just, you know, the most random stuff you're going to get. Earn 70 gold medals in story missions. That was pretty tricky. 100% was tricky, like doing, you know, playing poker over and over again, playing dominoes, do this with this gun. It's, you know, so many things to even touch on when it comes to like going into a guide like this, but I enjoyed pretty much every minute of it. And then the second part of it being the multiplayer, which again, playing it by myself probably would have got my nerves, but again, played it with my dad. He got the platinum as well, so we went through and got all the online trophies, and the big one being reach rank 50, which takes a lot of time.
Yeah, relax, man.
This is the one. This is the one.
You literally got my hand on it.
Is that?
Yes.
Oh, legend
Pong,
of
pong,
the
pong.
That is my proudest platinum to date. There we go, guys. That is my top 10 most proudest platinums. Just a random video to kind of fill the time between the Golem video and the next video, because I don't think the next video is going to be out for another couple of weeks. But thanks for sticking by. Let me know some of the platinums you're most proud of, if you have any, down below, which I'm assuming if you watch this you have at least 1 or 2 platinums. So yeah, let me know down below what they might be. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.